Be like, damn, slow down. I know you see a queen adjusting her crown. She been knocked down, but she never stayed down. She been living life like it's her playground. And they be like, damn, slow down. They can catch us, she be moving too fast.
Hey everyone, what's up? Good evening, y'all. Good evening. No, I didn't reschedule it, y'all. My StreamYard is stupid. I was gonna switch it to 6:30 and it kept trying to make me do for tomorrow, the 4th. And I was just like, forget it, I'll come live at 6. I'm hungry, y'all. That's the reason why I was trying to change it. But nonetheless, I am here because we have to break down this story. I did not realize that a lot of people did not know about the West boys until, I covered the story. Now, the thing about it is, before I got into true crime YouTube, whatever you want to call it, I follow a lot of people that do true crime. So I kind of watched the story unfold and I had so many different mixed emotions. I just assumed, and I know it's not good to assume, I really assumed that y'all knew about this story, because when I say it captivated everyone, it really, really did, just because the things that took place with these kids were really weird from the gate, just even from them being adopted to, them disappearing. And then you have like their very vocal mother, their very vocal father. And let me not even get onto like the extended family. So like the aunties and cousins, they're very vocal. It was a very high profile case. They even did like a huge 1-year anniversary to the boys' disappearance. And like I told y'all in the video, when I say baby, they was out in shirts. They sold shirts. They wear a lot of paraphernalia for these boys. California City did their thing with these boys as far as repping them. So when these parents or these adoptive parents got indicted, y'all, let me just tell y'all, Facebook, if you peek over there, it's in shambles. Like, y'all may think YouTube is in shambles if y'all type in the boys' names and you come across the videos, but Facebook is in utter shambles because they have like a Facebook group for them. They have everything, and baby, they are not playing. They are out for blood. So we're going to go over the whole timeline, and I do have some videos because I know some of you guys wanted to see like the adoptive parents interview. Another trending question was, why were the boys even adopted in the first place? And then what's their real names? So we're just going to go over it all together. Now, the boys' real name. So Orrin and Orson's real name is Sincere and Classic. Their last name is like Plotis, I believe. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And it's not Orrin and Orson West. Now, they were adopted at ages 3 and 4 by the West family, which is Trezell and Jacqueline. And this is Trezell and Jacqueline right here. Let me put them on my screen. This is them in jail today. They're in no rain. They were getting no rain today. The bald black guy is Trezell, and I believe this lady is white. I don't know. Whatever she is. This lady right here, her name is Jacqueline. So this is the adoptive parents. So taking it back to Sincere and Classic, Orrin and Orson, whichever one y'all want to call them, taking it back to the time that they were removed from their mother. Their mother's name is Ryan Dean. The reason why they were removed from their mother is because allegedly, and this goes back to 2018, they were put in foster care because of a alleged injury that one of the boys, I'm not sure which one, and I believe it was a leg injury. I could be wrong. This information that was kind of like buried, and if y'all don't know anything about kid cases, they don't really, it's not easy to access. But I believe the allegations are that one of the boys, either Sincere or Classic, Orrin Orson, whatever one y'all want to call them, sustained a leg injury, and that is the reason why they were removed from the household. Now the weird thing about that was, allegedly to the father and to the mother, they were fighting to have the children placed with, next of kin, so someone in their family. And for reasons unknown, like I said in my video, really weird, but they were denied that right to have the boys with someone in their family. Now, they were placed in foster care and they were placed with the West family. They were with the West family for a little bit over, or a little bit under a year. And then in April of 2019, the West family adopted them. Now, where they originally lived, they always lived in California, but I believe they lived in Bakersfield. I believe that's what it's called, before they moved to Cal City. The only reason why I'm pointing this out is because they had moved to Cal City 3 months prior to the boys' disappearance. But I want to make sure that their alleged location was Baker City. Let me not get to saying the wrong thing. Let me get the right picture up because I'm tired of these evil people being on the screen. So this is the picture of the boys. Now, when they lived in foster care with their soon to be adopted family, they lived in, I believe it was Bakersfield. We're going to go with that. I could be wrong with the exact place. Just know that they did not live in Cal City. Now, allegedly, 3 months prior to December, they had moved to Cal City. And in December 21st, 2020, the boys were allegedly playing outside and they were writing in chalk because Jacqueline, which is the adoptive mother, was wrapping presents and she didn't want them to see. And then the father was going in and out of the house because it was so cold that he had to get firewood for the fireplace. Now, excuse my ignorance because I'm not trying to be ignorant, to say the least. I didn't know California gets that cold. So if anyone is familiar with how it is in California around this time of the year, let me know. Does it really get that cold in California to the point where you would have to collect firewood um throughout the day? And then mind you, they had a total of 6 children. So not only did they adopt Orrin and Orson, but they also had 2 other foster children, and then they had 2 biological children. So it was always weird that only only Orrin and Orson was outside in the chalk. I still, for the life of me, either I can't remember, but I have a good memory and I don't remember ever hearing what the other children were doing. Like, I promise y'all, I could be wrong on that, but I don't believe I ever heard exactly what those other children was doing and why only the 2 people that went missing were the only 2 outside. Because as a mother of more than one, I don't have one do what the other can't do. So say for instance, my youngest can't do what the oldest is doing, then they're just going to do what the youngest person can do. But I've never saw people separate the children to the point where only 2 was outside because you were wrapping gifts and the other one was getting firewood. Now, Christy said it does get cold up there. Okay, well, that's good to know. Now, once the news broke that these boys were missing, oh, okay, Tangela said that the other children were allegedly with the grandparents. We're going to talk about that, Grandma. Okay. Okay. Hottie Stuff said the same thing. Okay. Thank you guys. Because I don't think I ever knew exactly where the other children were. But allegedly, the other children were with their grandparents. Now, when news broke that these 2 boys went missing, initially, let me just put it like this. People called BS from the jump. A lot of people called BS. And there were a lot of witnesses, a lot of testimonies that a lot of people really honed into, especially in the true crime sector of YouTube. And the main person is going to be the neighbor, you guys. So remember in my video today, and I know y'all do not like me to do short videos. I really thought I was killing it with these short videos. I mentioned how there was video footage of what exactly took place on December 21st that debunks the allegations of the West, or the testimony of the West family. And that actually was brought to us by a actual YouTuber, you guys. The YouTuber actually was able to go to the neighbor's house, go inside his house, and look at his footage. And this YouTuber actually live streamed the entire thing. The channel is called AV Watchmen United We Stand. If you guys are not subscribed to this channel or even familiar with him, I implore you guys to go over there and check out his channel. He is, to say the least, a writer for the boys. Like, when I say he is a writer, he is a writer. He is not playing any games. And he was the one that actually was able to call out the BS. Now, I'm going to actually play yes, this is live. GA Beat House 99. We are live, baby. Oh, California has all 4 seasons? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know. Now, I live in the Midwest, so when I talk about all 4 seasons, baby, I ain't never heard of Californians getting firewood. That was also weird to me. I'm still never over it, because I'm like, baby, like, it gets dirt cold out here and I ain't never collected firewood, but whatever. We usually just buy it. So, yeah, the YouTuber is doing better than the investigator. So major shout out to him. There is a whole sector of YouTube that really covered this story. And before I even got my pinky toe in the true crime sector, these heavy hitters have been killing it. Like, so it's AV. We also have another one. Y'all know I have shouted him out before. His name is Chris. He has a whole campaign on his channel. He only talks about true crime that involve children, but he is really good as well. So before I play the actual live stream from AV, I am going to actually show you guys the full interview of the adopted parents, because I know you guys had questions about what it was. It's only 10 minutes, but I'm not going to speed it up. I want you guys to look at their body language, listen to what is being said and how they are moving, because this was really like, baby, we're not falling for anything that you guys are saying and we're calling BS. But this is really one of the things that really spearheaded a lot of people getting in that ass. They even got in their ass, as y'all seen in the video the snippet that I put in my video. They got in their ass in this interview. So we're gonna play it just so you guys can hear for yourself what they say, and we're gonna compare it to the actual real deal footage that cannot be manipulated, that was brought to us by the neighbor.
We just want to thank everyone in the community for all the support we've seen. We've felt so helpless, and seeing everybody out here really looking and helping out really means a lot.
So, tell us what happened the night the kids went
Okay.
From our yard.
Okay. It was cold. I was gonna make a fire. There's a lot of wood in this area right here next to our house. I opened up the back gate. I'm throwing wood, bringing it inside the house. My wife's inside. She was actually wrapping gifts, so we thought it was a good idea that they got our youngest to go outside and play with chalk on the back patio. Do not let them go on the dirt in the backyard. And keep them close. So I was playing with chalk, and I came in the house. I saw them there. In one house, I came back out. I didn't see them there. I immediately went back in, asked my wife, "Did you see the boys?" She said, "No, they should be outside playing with chalk." I said, "Well, I didn't see them." So I came back outside and I started searching my backyard. I searched the whole thing. I realized that I left the gate open and I panicked, came inside the house, searched the house, me and my wife. Once that hadn't pan out, I got in the van. I looked down the street, both directions. It was getting dark, getting cold, and I got in the van and I hit a bunch of corners. I went down.
Pay attention. He says he hit a bunch of corners. He said he was working effortlessly. You would think this man was a goddamn lumberjack. Like he was throwing the wood. He was getting the wood for the fire, for the bitter cold of California. But y'all see how his stance is, and you see old Jacqueline over there. Her raggedy ass could barely look at the camera. His demeanor is very off-putting, like his arms is crossed. And he said, anybody that has to do this, okay, we were, okay, they're lying. I am so sorry, but every time I have seen someone talk like that, I know that they have practiced what they were trying to say and that they're lying most of the time. Y'all hear me real deal live stream. I'm literally talking to y'all. Y'all don't hear me go, okay, okay. Sir, first of all, I'm not saying that you have to come on camera and, cry and be all dramatic, but it is really, really, really weird that they are just like, okay, and scene. So, y'all, it gets worse, but let's continue.
This street. I turned my light on. I searched. I called their names. Talked to a gentleman on the street on the other side over there. He didn't see me. So then I came home and I told my wife we need to call the cops. It's getting dark and I need help. We gotta get going. So I called the cops. Cops came. First thing they did was tell us to stay in the house so they can get a hold of us. And they had us just sitting there and we wanted to keep searching. But everybody came out in droves. And I wanted to thank you guys that night, but we couldn't go outside.
The cops told us the best are out here.
The best are out here searching. And we appreciate it. And nobody ever could tell, we could never talk to anybody. And that was the issue.
We just want to thank
We
everybody.
really want to
And
thank you guys.
please, if anybody has seen them, please call, let somebody know.
It, it call the cops, call California's the city police department. Call them and let them know what you seen if you see anything. Our boys, they they are going to be rambunctious. Okay, they are going to be.
How are they gonna be rambunctious? How are they gonna be rambunctious? First of all, they're lost. They are little boys. They probably hungry. It's cold. I rambunctious. I think you're meaning they're gonna be scared. They're gonna be timid. They're gonna be. These are children that have been in trauma. They have been removed from their natural home. I even freaking changed their names. I'm pretty sure that they're going to be a lot more than rambunctious. Like that didn't even make sense. It makes no sense.
Here in this area, and I really would like to go in the houses, but it's not because I want to invade people's privacy. I just want to know if
Make
they
sure.
make sure. That's it. Because I don't. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. If you got any questions.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna say, this is the first time we're hearing from you guys, and I can't imagine what you guys are going through. I can't even fathom it. Um, for you guys, for people who are thinking that there's some kind of foul play involved, we just spoke to the biological mother. She says she had a conversation with you guys, and that she thinks there's some kind of foul play involved. That she thinks you guys did something.
And that's understandable.
What's your response to that?
That's understandable. I would think the same thing.
Yep.
I mean, that's exactly the point. And if we can find our babies, then guess what? That's no. And that's all I want is to find our babies. That's it. And I talked to her this morning, and I really wanted to tell her that I am completely sorry because we were entrusted with her children, and they came to us, and they became our children. We named them, and they are our children, and so we want them back. So please, if y'all could get back on your what you guys are doing, we should be able to get a hold of somebody, but they took all of our tech, so they wanted to, I guess, just rule us out, which makes sense. That's part of the investigation. So that's pretty much it.
Have you guys You talked to the police all last night.
Yes.
Um, what? So you guys willfully gave them your
Everything.
technology,
Yes,
the car.
yes.
Did they get a? How did they get a search warrant? Did you
I
guys?
I
Oh, no
I don't see
idea.
why they got one, but they got one. We
Yeah,
would have
they
let them
didn't need
take
one,
anything.
but
We would have let them take everything. We let them come in and search with us. We asked them to come do that.
What did they take
Just tech, and that's it. Like our phones.
from the house? Though? Did they?
So is it starting to make sense now why the red flags immediately was raised? This interview was done literally 2 days, well, really 1.5 days, because the boys allegedly went missing around 4:30, December 21st. So it's December 23rd, but this is what we're seeing. This is the first time that this city, because they're not from here, so Cal City is hearing from these adoptive parents of their two small children. But are y'all getting that this is something that they really are concerned about? They're just like, yeah, yeah, they got our phones, and I really wish I could go in their apartments, but I know that's an invasion of privacy. And like, first of all, as a mother, adopted or not, because I believe you have to have a special heart to adopt children that are not yours. Now, as a parent, first of all, I can't do no interviews because I'm running around. I'm in everybody's house. I don't care if it's invasion of privacy or not. Do you got my kids? Do you have my children? I am not doing news interviews. Like, tell them what I said, flash my face on the screen, say this lady is out here. Audrey is running around. She is fighting for her kids. I don't have to be PC, politically correct. They are trying their hardest to say the right things, and it's not convincing anyone. I have never saw a news interview where they don't ask questions. Like, the news people is just letting them talk, but they're being shady by zooming in on like um Trezel's face and everything. They know exactly that they're on bullshit.
Oh well, I guess should I answer that? Or?
Answer it does, yeah.
Okay. So into the okay, and I guess I don't even know.
I see. Yeah, we seriously felt like we needed to be out here. We did. Uh, Again, we were told the best are out here looking already. Just to stay put. They have more questions. There
And
was
then,
literally a cop with us the whole time in
and
there.
he had sitting down. We would ask, can we go help? They had to
He
sit
said
down.
nope.
He said, no, we got the best out there. We
So it's
need you
not.
guys here in case you have more
I don't want you guys
questions.
thinking
We
we
don't.
didn't try. We actually
We
looked
tried.
before we called the
We looked,
police.
yes.
And I imagine the mind-boggling part is the search for information. What happened? Where are they?
Yes.
Et
Yes.
cetera, et cetera.
And we're, yeah.
And just so we are able to present the information correctly, at what time did you guys notice your kids went missing, and at what time were they reported missing to the police?
It's about, I believe, I think it was about 4:30, going on 5. It was getting dark, like I said,
Five-ish.
5ish. But it's about it. That's when everything played out.
And then when did you guys call the police to report them missing?
I don't,
After we searched
yeah.
a little bit around here, it was dark, so we definitely we got worried.
Would you say it was maybe within an hour, a couple hours?
No, it was within minutes of us getting finished with our search. It
Okay.
was within minutes.
What do you guys want people at home to understand about this situation? For them, even speaking about what you guys are feeling is difficult. What do you want them at home to understand about this whole situation?
We're going through it. It's difficult. I mean, everybody's making their own their own conclusions. They don't know anything. We're not sure like everything. We're not sure. We said what we knew, and if anybody has seen them uh, or anything, please call the police department.
Would you be willing to provide pictures, or do you have any?
They I have older pictures. All my newest were on my phone.
Okay.
a lot of people are speaking of this as, after the math past tense. I want to talk about your kids in present tense. What kind of boys are these? Tell us about the boys.
Very playful, very rambunctious, and they do love to wrestle. They do love to kind of get rough with each
They're
other.
kids.
They're kids. Of course, they would love to go out, but
Hold on, y'all. My microphone was giving me issues. We gonna rewind a few sentences back. Y'all hear her lying ass, Jacqueline lying ass, talk about some. Um, I got pictures of the boys. My updated pictures are on my phone. But sis, allegedly, when the police asked y'all for pictures, y'all gave them old ass pictures of the boys, and that was called out and debunked by the mom. The biological mom was like, those are the pictures I took. Where are the new pictures? So that's that. And then do y'all also hear how he's asked again, where, like, describe the children, tell us about the boys, tell us about them, so we can really know, because with children cases, with missing people cases, we really, as a country, we get involved and we get emotionally attached, but you want that to happen so you can feel intrigued to actually help the search. So if we hear buzzwords like kind, smart, helpful, energetic, things like that, a missing piece to my heart, like those buzzwords, and y'all know this is my communication, but anyway, those buzzwords really do inflict a certain type of emotion to the viewers. This motherfucker said, and I'm sorry, excuse my language, this man said rambunctious. So you basically keep calling your kids bad as hell. And like a commenter said, she hit it on the head. Rambunctious, bro, they're 3 and 4. Parents don't typically use language like that. He was expressing his honest frustration towards them, in my opinion. And I could not agree more. I would never, ever, ever describe my children that are missing, that I want back, in that way. I would say, they are a light to my life. They are a joy. They are everything to me. I really need them back. I know they miss me. I know they want to be with me. Like, follow me, follow the communication styles, because we really get taught to talk like this. So you really have to say those buzzwords. This mother effer said rambunctious. So you got people thinking they searching for some badass kids. How dare you? How dare you?
we would. So during the pandemic, we weren't trying to go, you know, out here, and so we stayed inside.
Yes.
Yes, we did. We searched before we called the cops. That's what we were
Yeah.
saying. They came missing right before it got dark. And then I searched that property. I even drove around this neighborhood right here. I even talked to a gentleman on that side, one of those streets over there. I said, "Did you see some little black kids?" And that way looking for them. That's the way I was gonna come. But when I came back home, I decided to call the cops because it was dark. They couldn't have got away that fast.
And why did it take two people to go in the house and leave two kids out here by themselves? It should have been one parent going in and one parent right here watching the child, not two parents going in the house and leaving two little kids out here by themselves for 10 minutes.
No, they were in the backyard. And the back gate was open.
Out the backyard.
And the back gate was open, and I was getting wood from this lot here.
So you guys been unresponsible, left the gate open, left some little kids outside with the gate open.
All right. Sorry, you guys were talking about your boys who you're, I understand. For a mother's intuition, I know you were saying, and we'll get your names after this, but you were saying how you feel like they're in this area. Do you feel the same way? And what is the intuition? What is the sense you get? What do you think happened to your boys? Do you think someone took them? Do you think they're lost? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely know they're not walking around. They're not that kind. They do not just roam around. These patches. They definitely, I think, definitely would have been picked up or something.
That was my assumption.
Have they ever taken off of the yard
No.
before?
No.
Nope.
They've never taken off.
No.
So there you guys have it. This was the first and only interview that the adoptive parents did. And like I keep saying, y'all, because it's really, if you guys know this story, people in the comments, y'all will know this is true. The shit just went downhill from there. It really was like, you know what, y'all you're playing in our face right now. You're a liar. You guys are lying. We are not believing you. And then they never ever helped with the search of these boys. They already told on themselves, and they tried to cover it up with saying, oh, they told us the best place we will be is at home. You don't, first of all, police, you don't tell me the best place to be. I'm going to be wherever I need to be, where I feel like my children could be at. But again, they're 3 and 4. How far could they get? How far? So a little under a month later, like 3 weeks later, we have a live stream from AV, and he has real deal live footage from the neighbor, and the neighbor allows him to come in his home and record the footage because according to the neighbors, they have never seen these boys ever. Ever. They've never seen these boys. Anybody that lives in a neighborhood with children, we may not know the children's names. Hell, we may not even know the kids' ages. But baby, we see kids. We hear kids. And in all actuality, we have an honest thing to look out for children. Every time I hear children playing outside, I make a conscious decision to look out my window just to account for what's going on, make sure ain't nothing out there going crazy. You know, like little kids walk through my backyard to get to school. I hear this and I make a conscious effort to track that every day just in case something was to happen. I know that I saw little kids, or I didn't see them for 3 weeks. But these neighbors allegedly have never ever seen these boys. Now, another thing, like I told you guys, they moved to Cal City 3 months prior to the boys' disappearance. And the 3 months prior is a big deal because allegedly the realtor that helped them find this house, they told the realtor, this is her witness statement, that she was told that they only had 4 kids. I'm going to say that one more time. The witness realtor said she was told by Jacqueline and Trezell allegedly that they only had 4 kids. I told you guys they have 6, including Orrin and Orson. But she says she remembers specifically that they said 4, and we know she's not lying. You get to know your realtors, and your realtors get to know you. She does not recall 6 children ever. And that would account to the reason why the police are now saying that they believe that they were deceased 3 months prior to even their disappearance. They've only lived in that house for 3 months. The neighbors have never seen them. And the realtor said, y'all told me y'all had 4 kids. Like, y'all told me y'all had 4 kids. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the video from AV. I'm not going to show everything. We're going to jump around in this live stream a little bit because a lot of it is him just talking. Some things you're not going to be able to see everything, but just listen to what they're saying because this is raw footage. This is raw commentary, and this is real. This is the neighbor. This was not anything that was staged.
Reports his kids missing. That's his house. That's his truck right there. His van that was parked in front of the house. So,
hey, you think, is there any way, bro, not to bug? Is there any way we can hit the light? All right, so he's gonna turn probably off, no? What do you think? Is that good?
yeah, you can see it.
Okay, all right, let's do it, guys. Okay, so this is at 4:30, like he's saying.
Maybe these little lights are.
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Go like that. Mark?
Yeah, you want to black out or what?
It's up to you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Good?
Okay, all right, guys. So he got to turn the lights off real quick. That way you can see a little bit better.
All right, so this is the time he's going to report his kids missing. So it's 4:31. He's going to come out right now. You'll see him come out. Should be coming out in a second now.
Okay, so what we're looking at, guys, is here. See that van? So he's gonna come in outside any moment now to make to call.
Well, he's gonna look for his kids apparently, but you're gonna see how he does it and what he does. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There you go. So the light came on. You see it?
Which in the front?
Yeah, the front little light. He opened this front the side door. You see the door open?
Okay, the door's open to the van. Yep.
Yeah, you see it?
Yep.
So he's gonna hop in his van right now.
Hey, can you guys see this video? Hit 1 if you can see it pretty good.
Okay, so he turns his van on, bro.
Okay.
So apparently he's looking for his kid, but it takes him about a minute just to sit in his van and turn his car on. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And he didn't even look in the front yard, nowhere on the sides. You see it?
Nothing.
He didn't come up the street. So he hops in his van. I mean,
Look
I
at
don't think he's going in a speed where you're searching for somebody. You're going pretty fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
made that turn right there. You're not looking for nobody. You know what I mean?
Okay, where's
So
he going?
He makes that turn, right?
That right here by his
So,
house?
I mean,
Okay.
you gotta figure your kids are missing. You don't know which direction they went, right?
Right.
So he takes off that direction for I don't know what reason, looking for his kids. But we got lights, Christmas lights on this side. We got a big open lot. He's got his fence line right here. He didn't
Right.
come out to look behind his fence
He
line.
didn't do none of that shit.
None of that shit. I mean, your kid missing. Why would you jump in your car?
Yeah.
You're gonna walk
Of
around,
course.
correct?
You guys just seen that, right, guys? So he walks out. He freaking gets in the van. He doesn't even come to look in this area here.
No neighbors.
He's not running down the street, freaking looking this way. He's not running that way.
He sits in the car.
He sits in the car. He gets in, starts it up, warms it up for a little bit, and then he just casually drives out.
So about 4 minutes, he's gone. So maybe fast forward.
Okay? Yeah, I appreciate you doing this, bro.
So we go about
All right, guys. So this is a neighbor, man. This dude's awesome. He has it on.
So
Wait, I see the van is just there right now.
So this is 35.
Who's this? What's this?
It's just a shadow. It looks like a car, but it's not. It's just a shadow.
So as y'all hear, like he's able to actually see this. This is the real deal neighbor. Exactly, Chrissy. Why wouldn't he ask the neighbors before getting in the car? It just did not scream, I'm looking for my kids. I would be a wild banshee. It did not give those vibes. The fact that he got in his truck and went around the corner was really weird, and that's what a lot of people was calling out. There is another part of this video where you can clearly see that there is nothing to collect firewood and throw where they live. It's just not giving what he was saying. Now, I know that y'all said that it does get cold in California, but look at where they live. Where's the firewood coming from? What are you throwing, lumberjack? And then you sat in your car after you realized that they were missing, but it's just giving weird. So now the part that's about to show is him coming back, and it's literally under 6 minutes.
Right there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
That's a shadow, bro?
yeah, bro. I know it looks like a car, but it's not.
Okay, so
So you see him back there? He's driving back
that's
there.
him. That's
Yeah.
him. So he's in the field right now, driving.
These are little streets back here, but the field starts like about
Oh,
there,
okay,
a
okay.
little higher than that.
Yeah.
maybe, but it's still residential right there where he's living.
Okay, so that was him that just came from right here.
Yeah, but he's on the street, two, three
Streets
So
over.
you see him coming?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
see him? Bam.
yeah.
See that car? Headlights. So
Okay,
he's
so
about to
there-
pull up.
There he is again.
He came back. That was about 4 or 5 minutes. He was gone.
He was gone 4 to 5 minutes. And as you guys see, even on the timestamp as well, he was only gone for maybe 4 to 5 minutes. Boom, there he is.
So he comes, opens the door, gets out, goes in front of his house, and just stands there, bro. You know what I mean? You see him?
Yeah,
You see him? He's just standing there. He's not looking for no kid.
yeah, he's not.
So he's standing there. He'll
Well,
stand.
he's behind the tree right now, right?
Yeah, he's behind that tree where he thought it was a car. That it was like a shadow.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just standing there, bro.
Look, so this freaking lane is, he's not looking for no kids, bro.
Now he's walking back. He's not looking for nobody. You see him. He didn't come this way. He didn't look on that fence.
No.
And you could see his backyard.
Yeah.
If anybody walks in that backyard, you would have seen shadows. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So he's not even in his backyard looking for no kids.
None. What was that? I just see something
Yeah, it
move
was
right
a
there.
dog. It was
Oh,
a
okay,
dog.
dog.
So if you see the dog again?
Yeah, you can see the dog.
Yeah, so if it was a human, you
You
would have
see them.
seen it way better, bro.
course.
To see a little dog, you know?
Yeah.
So you would have seen somebody back there searching, looking, and he's got a big backyard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Shed, back shed behind it. You know what I mean?
So he's still right now. Is he on the phone right now, or?
So what happens is he pretty much stands there right in front of his house for about another 5 to 6 minutes when the cops pulled up. So at this point, I believe he already called the cops.
Okay.
Assuming from the reaction time and the arrival time of the police, you know?
Right. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you guys for doing that. Spread the word. Let other people know that we are alive. And by doing that, click the thumbs up. Hey, so the neighbor, this is a good dude right here, man. He just gave me access to come in here and look at this video surveillance that he has from his house. This guy is a piece of shit, you know? You can tell. He's not looking for.
If he came this way, goes to my house,
Yeah.
the first place he would look is right here. Bro.
He's not
That's their
acting
house.
like someone looking for their child,
You
bro.
would have seen him come up the street, go to your neighbor's man.
Yeah, right away, bro. Running.
Running.
Panicking, bro.
He's not panicking.
No, he's not
standing.
panicking, bro. Yeah, this guy's not
So I
panicking.
watched this video like so many times, and I try to like break it down. You know what I mean? So the next interesting part is that pretty much he's gonna stand in front of his house, see the dog walking around in the back. You can see nobody's back there.
Yeah,
The dog.
yeah.
Well, so the cops are gonna pull up soon,
Okay.
and you'll see what he does next, which is freaking crazy. I still can't believe it. So let me fast forward.
Oh, he's gonna do something right now?
I mean, I wasn't gonna fast forward, so you could see that he doesn't come towards this area. But
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you could tell already that he's not.
Yeah, he's not.
So as you guys see, he did absolutely nothing. He literally did a quick U-turn, and he's doing all this for because he thinks that he's on a movie. Like, he really thinks that he's doing this on like a movie. That's the best way I can explain it. Like, he doesn't realize that, baby, this is 2020 at the time. We are not stupid, to say the least. So people are going to be able to see this. He just did not realize that his neighbor was going to rat him out. Just for clarification, this video footage was immediately sent to the FBI before this YouTuber got this exclusive. So this was already evidence that was sent over, but he has a right to post whatever he wants. It's his footage. And then also, Brandon, you had a question about when did they actually go missing. They moved from their previous city to our previous town to Cal City in the month of around late September, October. Allegedly, they had been missing around since that time. And they have reason to believe that they never made it to this new house. Even the realtor said that when they were looking for the house, the parents told them they only have 4 kids and they were supposed to say 6.
I see lights coming from the rear.
That's just a neighbor
okay.
passing by or something.
All right.
He's a neighbor passing by. So he's pretty much still right there. His wife, him, they will not come out, you know?
Right.
So he still has
I will see.
so he
Joe
still
Dirt.
doesn't come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Boom. Somebody just turned on.
Okay, so this is, what time is this? 4:48 already.
4:48. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
It was 4:33 when he hopped in his car and took off the first time or something like that.
Right. And he was gone for like 4 minutes.
Yeah, 4 or 5 minutes.
Right.
He was gone.
Right. And now we're waiting for the cops to pull up now.
Yeah, so we're about to wait for the cops to pull up and watch what he does when we pull up.
All right, so we're to watch. The cops are going to be pulling up right now, and he obviously he did something that we're going to see right now. So that's 449, 1649. Yeah, 449. Okay, so now we got. I see.
So
What was that?
I went a little too much forward,
Oh.
so I reversed again. So he still hasn't come out.
He's still behind. All right, guys. So he's still behind this tree right here,
Just chilling, waiting for the
just
cops.
waiting for the cops. Right? He didn't put the call, and then while he's on the phone, he's not looking. He's just chilling.
That's already 7 minutes. They still haven't showed up. Plus minus.
Yeah. So as you guys can see, he's not looking for these kids at all. He hasn't even came from behind that tree.
Yeah.
And like the neighbor was saying, you could see through this fence. Like we just seen the dog walk
backyard, that's
his backyard, right? We just seen the dog. Haven't seen no kids at all.
If any kid came out, I would have caught it on my camera too before this. You know what I mean? So
That's what's gonna ask you. Like,
we could go back. So he stated that to the police that his statement was because they came and they took my DVR. The FBI has this recording. So he's told the cops that on the 19th, 2 days before that, all 6 kids, husband, wife, they all went to Bakersfield Christmas shopping. So on the 19th, and this is early, he said 11 a.m. So I looked, and 4 kids only sit in the car, husband and wife. Those 2 little kids on the 19th didn't even sit in that car.
and this was on the 19th.
This was on the 19th.
Hey, did you guys just hear that?
I could go back and
Hey, if you guys heard that, press 1. Did you just hear what he said?
And okay, so I could go back and show you the 19th too, and you could count how many hits come out.
Okay. See, so he's
So I see you guys have some questions in the chat. Amanda, this absolutely does remind us of Cody Bigsby, and I'm going to talk about him in another video, but it's eerily similar. No, Brina, the mom did not have contact with the children because they were adopted in April of 2019. This was not an open adoption. She did not have legal rights to them. There were no reason why she would have to be in contact with them. So no, there was no, oh, I haven't spoke to my kids. Yeah, you can't. Unfortunately, they were adopted. So that wasn't something that the police was looking more so for, but it was mainly the fact that everyone in the area, as of now, as of December 21st and on after, never saw these kids, never, ever heard from them. And then you have this smoking gun. Now, Chrissy, if y'all don't know, children cases are very hard to cover, and I give it up to the true crime like Chris Thorns that really do these cases with children, because it's literally like digging. Prosecutors barely want to give any information, but when it comes to kids, a lot of things have to be on the DL. So we don't know what the other kids have said, and they rarely make these type of things public for us to know. We're going to play the actual news clip of the press conference with the DA, just so y'all can understand, like, from what I got from it, they been and knew this 2 weeks into the investigation that it was some bull crap. Because the Cal City Police Department is so small, they had to, of course, get it over to the right hands. The FBI helped with this case. So everything that they did after was more so to prove their case. And they said that, they kept this under wraps until the arrest was made. It's just crazy that it took over 14 months for an arrest. But yeah, they don't tell us like if the children says things. It sucks. It really, really sucks. It's not like adult cases. It's really, really hard to cover. And I'm the type of person, I need to know everything, every little detail. But with kid cases, you really cannot. They keep those under wraps. And I understand. Hottie stuff, yeah, you are right. The kids they were immediately removed from the home, but we're gonna get into the ratchet grandma, the Trezel's mom, because his family did the most too. But let's get back to this. I'm going to fast forward it to the part where they show the 19th, which is 2 days prior before the boys go missing, when they allegedly went shopping.
Telling me that he could go back to the 19th, right?
Now the cops are pulling up. It's already 16:52.
So 4:52 now, right?
See him right there?
Right. Okay, here comes the
First
cops.
officer pulling up to the scene. So look,
Yeah,
look
the
at him.
feds.
Look
FBI
at
has
him.
it.
He's gonna look at him. He kind of hesitated, then he went. I don't know if you did figure.
I've seen that.
Then his wife hesitated. So now he goes and he tells the cops, and that's his wife walking in the back, telling them, "You might want to put your camera just a little back to this guy."
Is that good? That should be good.
Yeah. So he tells the cops that, hey, my 2 and 3 year old or 3 and 4 year old is missing, right? So the cop takes off. That's her walking back. Or him, I don't know, but they're not
Well,
looking.
they're not looking, bro.
They're not looking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, they're not looking. You don't have no kids missing, bro.
No.
So he goes and he's hopping back in his truck. Okay.
Right.
This is what I call him playing the little movie part. You know what I mean? He's
Right,
setting
right.
up the stage pretty much.
He's setting it up.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Well, I'm searching too. I'm doing this. So he hops back in his car when the cop pulls up, right? But he was just standing around before that.
Doing
So he
nothing.
comes out the same way how he pulled in, came out the same. Look what he does. What he's doing, bro. Look what he does.
Exact same.
Look what he does. Makes that same freaking right.
Exact
turn,
same right turn again.
Why would you go
Going the
there?
exact same direction again.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Hi. Hello. This doesn't make. This is crazy, bro. Where's this cop going? He's going.
he's searching. He's
searching.
frantically searching. You could tell he's searching.
Yeah, no.
You could tell,
You can tell the difference.
Yeah, you could tell the difference right away between
Yeah.
someone searching and
Yeah.
someone not searching. You know what I mean?
Yep. So you guys seen this? He stood here. He was gone for 4 minutes, 5 minutes, but he stood here for what?
Yeah, something like that.
8, 9 minutes, standing here waiting for the cops. He wasn't searching at all. Is that the cop again coming back, or?
Another officer. So another officer pulls up, parks in the front, and he's gonna go hit the whole backyard now. You know what I mean?
Hey, can you guys? Am I too close to the TV? Can you guys see it pretty good, or what? Let me know. Let me know if you guys can see this footage. I appreciate you guys, joining. As you guys know, this is.
So as y'all see, that man just did the exact thing that he had already did. He drove around the same direction that he had just came from. That's really all that it was. We're going to go back to the day of the 19th, where you guys can see how the neighbor was able to point out. He said he went through this footage over and over and over and over because he's like, damn, how a kid go missing? Y'all my neighbors. Like, he was really, this is real raw, like, huh? He was really confused. Like, I am so confused. How y'all gonna say a kid go missing? He my neighbor. Literally, you just see the house, the field, and then his house. He had no idea any of this was going on. Yes, Hottie Stuff, you have a good point. So that was another point. The biological mom has been very vocal. She says that she has been trying to get in contact with the boys to give them their gifts for not only Christmas, but also their birthday, allegedly. And the weird thing is, a lot of people was like, okay, that's good to know, but you should have your kids. But a lot of people are missing the fact that it was weird that the kids were immediately removed from the home, went to foster care, and was even adopted. And this mom, I'm not saying that we have to pacify her for any reason, because as a mom, you know that you should do the right things at all times. But she made a mistake, and it was really weird that the courts never even allowed her to correct her mistake. So just imagine the guilt that she is living with during this time. It's really, really sad. These kids, their whole identity was changed. Their father even have been advocating for them. So a lot of people really did dismiss the mom's claims about how she has been trying to get in contact with them. And it's really because they had an adoption. So the family it wasn't a red flag. Let me put it like that. The adopted family did not have to stay in contact with this mom. So that was never a part of the evidence. It just happens to be a part of the evidence, if y'all get what I'm saying. Yes, the biological mom, Hottie, she never stopped. She was very vocal, and she really hates that the kids' names was even changed. Like, the story, I wish there was a way that we could really get her side, because I, for the life of me, don't understand how it even got to them being adopted, names changed, and all that. It was really weird to me. But especially off for a leg injury or injury of the body, really weird.
He doesn't leave this house at all. You can see he pretty much stayed home.
Was the 20th? Did you see there was no outside at all that day either?
No days.
So no days.
No days. He pretty much never let the kids come out and play. Never. They were. So this is the 19th. When.
Wait, I want to make sure you guys heard that. The neighbor said that he pretty much never let the kids come out to play, like ever. Again, they just were never outside. And I told y'all that in my video this morning, that they basically said, like, you know, we're just new to the city. It's a pandemic. Like, you know, we just don't go out. That was their really laissez-place answer. And again, a lot of people was rocking with it, contrary to which I would think, because it was a panorama. But no, the neighbor is literally telling you guys, we never, ever saw the kids. The neighbor, he ain't got no reason to lie. Hit the footage. AV asked, what about the 20th? They never went outside the 20th. He already knows this footage because he done watched it 100 times. So he's taking us back to the 19th, and this is what you're going to see here.
To Bakersfield.
Okay, so this is the 19th of December, guys, and he claimed that all of them took off and went Christmas shopping on the 19th. But on this video here, it's going to show that those two little boys never went. Who said that? J.E. Pox? Those kids have been missing since October. Where do you get that from? Exactly. There should be some store cameras as well.
And y'all hear AV. This is how raw the reaction was. Do y'all hear that AV was like, someone in the comments told him the kids have been missing in October. He gonna say, where you get that from? He really did not know this, but it's true. They really have been missing since October. That was true. Even back then on January the 7th of 2021, a little under 2 to 3 weeks later, someone had already been piecing together. Like, that's how deep these people were invested in this story. The kids really have been missing since October.
Okay, so this is December 19th.
11:32 a.m.
11:32 a.m. This is a window here, huh?
That's the side window of their house.
That one, it's open right now?
No.
I appreciate you guys all tuning in. So if you are just now tuning in, we are at the neighbor's house to where the boys came up missing, and he has video surveillance from his house showing some shady stuff going on with.
Look, he comes out. You see him coming out? Comes, opens that side door again.
Mm-hmm.
So if you notice, he doesn't have neighbors on both sides, just two neighbors in the front, and he blocks his front door entrance with that van. All tinted windows, creepy freaking van, you know what I mean? And,
all the windows.
Yeah, and he never goes that way and sits in the car. It's always, so he opens the door like that, and then you'll see the kids from that little crack right there, from this little part right here. You'll see the kids jumping in the van right now.
How many kids does he have altogether?
So he has two of his own, I believe, two adopted, which were the ones that are missing, and two fosters.
So 6 altogether?
I believe so.
And we're only going to see 4 come out right now.
Correct. So there it goes. That's one, I believe. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4.
And 4.
And the wife.
And the wife. So he just kind of sort of rushed them in. Did you see that?
Quick, ran them in there.
He rushed them in there quick. So 4 kids only got in the van to go Christmas shopping.
I can go back again if you want.
Yeah, can we do it one more time? All right, guys, so let's look at this one more time.
The fourth one comes out with the wife, you know what I mean? So you can see the wife and the fourth one coming out.
Right.
Because you can see her kind of like guiding her and walking her.
Wow, this is something else, man. And on my last video I just uploaded earlier, I was telling people that what's done in the dark is going to come to the light, bro. This shows a lot, bro. his story doesn't add up.
I mean, you're not going to leave a 3 and a 2-year-old or a 4-year-old
By themselves.
And
No.
go to Bakersfield, right? Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
There's no way. You can't leave none of his kids at home. They're all
Underage,
toddlers.
right?
They're all
Yeah.
Little dudes. You can see them. You know.
Bro, his body language just on this,
Yeah.
the way he's just like
Marched them.
he marched them.
And usually, like,
Bro.
when you let your kids out your house and sit in the car, what do? They run around. You gotta beg them and yell at them, try to get them in the car. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not sitting in that car right away. This was like he was waiting by the door, like quick, bam, bam,
Quick,
bam,
quick.
like
Told them, get out there, get in, sit down, shut up. I bet you, if he's a controlling type of freaking dude, look, check it out.
So that's him coming out again, side door.
So he goes out there, he opens up that side door. Now they're all getting in through the passenger door, right?
Yeah.
So what, the sliding door don't open or something, or
He opens the sliding door, so they
Okay.
get from the sliding door. You can't really see it.
All right.
There's a sliding door, and he has his door open too. So
see this? I wonder if he knows that you got this camera over here, bro.
I mean, he's thinking maybe if I open my door like that, he won't see it. But I'm pretty sure he can see it.
Like, what if he knows that you got that camera here, and that's the reason why he opened up that door?
Yeah, that's why he did it.
To
That's
keep
why
that
his
door open.
windows are tinted. That's why he parks his van like that, so the neighbors across won't see it. You know what I mean? He may be thinking, oh, his camera won't catch all that. You know, all the way over there.
Yep. That's what he's thinking, right?
You know that guy's too far from me. You know what I mean?
Yep. And here we go. So, okay, here comes the first one.
You see it?
Yep. 1, 2, 3,
and that's the fourth.
and here's the
the
fourth one. Boom. That's it.
That's it. And the wife.
That is it, guys.
Dude had 6 kids. Where's the other 2, bro? On the 19th.
And this was the 19th. We don't know. Somebody says, so how long have they actually been missing for?
Who knows?
We don't know, man.
I mean,
But we know what we've just seen right now. We've seen 4 kids and his wife come out. And now she's going back in. Huh?
this is the
That door
only
just
camera
opened.
that you can see something with. You know what I mean?
Was that him? He just opened that door.
Yeah, he just opened that door. I don't know what he did. Like, do something out.
Yeah, and there they go. All the windows are blacked out. Look at that. Remember, that's the type of van we were wondering about when we were kids.
Yeah.
It's true, bro. And why does he always go out that way?
Go check his mail.
Yeah, this guy's lying, guys. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out.
So there you guys have it. This was brought to you by a YouTuber. His name is AV. I'm not going to play his whole video. Please, I'm going to link it in the description box. Please check out his videos. This man has been on it. He has been advocating for it. We also have Chris Thorne's, the Chris Thorne Show. He is another child advocate. I told you guys, he is the person that says children lives matter. His whole commentary is surrounded by children's rights and getting justice for kids that have been wronged. He did an interview with someone, like they were on it during this time. And I'm not sure if Chris was ever harassed, but I know for a fact AV was harassed for his stance on getting justice for these boys and calling the bullshit. And he was harassed by a lot of people. He even just said it today, like, I want to get an apology for all the harassment and bullying I got while I was trying to seek justice for these little lost boys that can't speak for themselves at all. Now, a lot of people want to know, like, okay, so what was going on with the actual family? Like I told you guys, the adoption is still really bizarre to me. I hope that they dive into trial so we can understand exactly what went wrong. But once that adoption went through, these are their parents. So there's not really much that we can say in regards to what the mom has to say and what the real dad has to say and what the family has to say, because they were adopted. Their names were changed. That's it. That it's a wrap for them, right? And it's still unjustly. I'm not saying like, F them, but the weird thing is the van was blacked out. They, like the neighbor said, they parked very precisely in front of the house, so you can't really see the doors, you can't really see the movements, and the angle of the neighbor's camera you can see, but you really can't see through the fence. But he made sure to go through this footage to know, I have never seen these kids play outside. I've never seen any of this. Then you have the account from the realtor saying that they only was told that they had 4 children. So get this, you guys. Trezel's, well, however you pronounce that man's name, brother is actually, his name is Jamal Watkins, and he's actually in the NAACP. A lot of people are on his head and been on his head for a while, like since this happened, because they want to know, like, your brother's slimy and you trying to defend him. But he also has a mother, and his mother in April, so about 3 months after the boy's disappearance, she makes this real cryptic like letter. Let me make sure I got it. Hold on, that's the indictment. She makes this real cryptic letter um talking about, how she feels. And this is what she says. Y'all can't really read it on the screen, but I'm going to read it out loud. It says, "Please help return my babies, a grandmother's plea." Now, this is the adoptive father's mother. This is not the real biological grandma, okay? She says, "When I learned that two of my grandchildren, the youngest Orrin and Orson, had disappeared this past December from their home in California City, I was devastated. I am still devastated and in disbelief more than 3 months later that this has happened to those innocent babies and they have not been found. That they are not safe and sound at home with us is horrendous. Less than 18 hours after their disappearance, we made the heart-wrenching choice to place their four brothers, my other babies, in the hands of the FBI for their protection. We had no clue what was happening or who was out there, and in an instant, all six of my grandchildren were gone, out of my reach. I was shocked, hurt, worried, upset, and confused. Today, I am still in shock, hurt, worried, upset, but not confused. I am clear that my purpose and mission is to get my babies back, all six of them. Someone knows exactly where Orrin and Orson are and what happened in December. Come forward. God and our family has already forgiven you, and we will be free from the guilt and burden I know you are carrying. These are babies who loved and have an entire future waiting for them to explore. Release them from yourself, release them and yourself from this. All we want are the boys back. Children are to be loved, cared for, and protected at all costs. And to have your own grandchildren stripped away by God knows who is a nightmare that will break down the strongest of us all. I have worked hard for 29 straight years before retirement, raised three sons, and have maintained my marriage for more than 30 years, all while dealing with the pressure of being a Black woman in America. I never would have imagined in my 65 plus years on this earth that this would happen to my own. If you have read this far, because God knows we didn't want to, please continue to support the actual search for Orrin and Orson. If you know something, please share truthful and factual based evidence with the Bakersfield Police Department. So remember, I told you guys, the Cal City Police Department is really, really small. So they really had to turn this over to the big dogs, which would be the FBI and the Baker Police Department. Can y'all explain to me what the hell the grandma was saying? And I only pointed out her post because she made a lick of no sense. This is the grandmother that allegedly the other children was with. Don't understand why Orrin and Orson wasn't with her. Don't understand why we need to know that you worked all your life before you retired. We don't need to know any of that. But the weird thing was that she claims that she turned over the children to the FBI for their protection. Who told you that? Who told you that? They were not turned over for any protection from no random monster beast from Cal City. They was turned over for protection from y'all crazy asses because your son and his wife did something to two innocent children. And the fact that no one can hold them accountable, this whole time, people was really looking for someone in his family between the brother Jamal Watkins, who he was like, oh yeah, we're gonna put up money for their return. Like he was one of the main people for the reward money that was putting that up. He said that he's not affiliated with what went on, but he knows that his brother is innocent. Then you got poor Hattie Mae, whoever this lady is. She's over here saying bull crap about a marriage, but no one is really pushing the issue of, son, Walk us through what has happened. Walk us through it. Walk us through. Now, remember how I told y'all that allegedly the police knew 2 weeks into the investigation that some shit wasn't right? They knew, but they could never say anything. They could never do anything. But as you know, just like the Cody Bixby case, how y'all know, like, things are still, of course, being investigated, but they don't ever come out and tell us what exactly is being investigated. That is a real thing that was going on with this. So when we got the news that Monday night, or Tuesday night, the adopted parents were indicted, we were shocked. Now, they were indicted on 5 different charges. I have the indictment papers, as y'all know, so I'm going to read those to you guys just so y'all can know exactly. Y'all cannot read this. I'll put it on my community tab because what the hell, it's so small. I'm going to read it on my phone. Okay. Count 1 is the Penal Code section 187, which is murder. It says, on or about September 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2020, Trezell West and Jacqueline West did with malice, afterthought, murder Orrin West, a human being, in violation of Penal Code Section 187, second-degree murder, a felony. Now, the same is going to read for Orson as well. Now, they said circumstance in aggravation. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, committed a crime that involved great violence, threat of great bodily harm, or other acts disclosing a high degree of cruelty, viciousness, callousness, with the meaning of California Rules Court Section 4.421. Now, that breaks down to another circumstance of aggravation, and it says, it is further that the victim, Orrin West, was particularly vulnerable within the means of the California rule. That breaks down to, it is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, induced others. Listen to this. This is why I'm bringing up raggedy ass grandma and raggedy ass uncle. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, induced others to participate in the commission of the crime or occupied a position of leadership or dominance of other participants in its commission within the meaning of the California rules. That breaks down to another circumstance, and it reads, it is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, took advantage of a position of trust or confidence to commit the offense within the meaning of the California rules. Now, the same thing is going to read for Orson, so that is the count 2. Now we're going to go over to count 3, and this is the which one is this one? Oh, child endangerment charge. Count 3 is on or about September 1st through September 30th, Trezell West and Jacqueline West did willfully harm or endanger Orrin and Orson West, a human being, under the Penal Code. Okay, now that breaks down to, hold on. Sorry, because I don't want to read the same thing. I'm trying to find. Oh, and then they're also charged with basically filing a false police report. Now, the main thing is, once we got this indictment, we was like, wait, how? What? We know December 21st. Why did this indictment read September? Why? Why are you guys saying that allegedly they did not act alone? They abused their position. They lied to the police. All like 5 counts. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Y'all, we still don't know. I'm not even gonna play like we know exactly what any of this means. I'm gonna play you guys the actual, well, only about 10 minutes of it, the actual press conference. The other 10 minutes is literally her just repeating she can't say anything about it. But they are treating this case and they are keeping it under wraps. And whenever this trial, which I believe is going to be, they allegedly are supposed to start May 23rd of this year. But because the adoptive raggedy ass parents have to get legal counsel, it could be delayed if y'all know anything about these courts. But I'm going to play for you guys what she said in the press conference, because it's like, so how long have y'all known this shit? This is kind of scary, because you can only imagine how free Trezell and Jacqueline thought they were.
Good morning. My name is Cynthia Zimmer. I am Kern County's district attorney. I have information about Orrin and Orson West, the two young boys who were reported missing from California City 14 months ago. On December 21st of 2020, Orrin was 4 years old and Orson was 3 years old. Their adoptive parents in California City, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, reported to the California City Police Department that the boys had disappeared from their backyard. The California City Police Department began a search for the boys in the area around their home. After a period of time, the FBI joined in the search, as did the California Highway Patrol and search and rescue from the Kern County Sheriff's Department. The community also came out to assist in looking for the boys, but to no avail. They were not located. 1 week later, crucial information came to light that necessitated the involvement of the Bakersfield Police Department and the Kern County District Attorney's Office. Law enforcement worked diligently, hundreds of hours in the next 12 months, looking for the boys. This morning, I'm saddened to announce that the investigation has revealed that Orrin and Orson West are deceased. The investigation has also revealed that they died 3 months before their adoptive parents reported them missing. However, I am pleased to announce that this week, the Kern County Grand Jury indicted Trezell and Jacqueline West, the adoptive parents, for the murder of Orrin and Orson West. The indictment charges 5 counts. The first count is murder, charges them both with murder, with the victim being Orrin West. The second count charges murder, with the victim being Orson West. The third count charges felony child abuse against the person of Orrin West. The fourth count charges child abuse against the person of Orson West. And the fifth count charges false report of an emergency. Naturally, the first 2 counts carry the most time in state prison, murder. It is charged as murder in the second degree. That carries 15 years to life, but with 2 victims, the potential penalty or the maximum possible penalty, if convicted, is 30 years to life for each defendant, Trezell and Jacqueline West. Now, the grand jury indictment is a formal charging document, and we followed a process in charging them before the grand jury, and that was the district attorney requested that the grand jury convene to hear evidence regarding an indictment that we presented them. The district attorney's office then presented information to the grand jury, and the grand jury found there was sufficient evidence to hold Trezell and Jacqueline West responsible for these murders, and they returned what was called a true bill. So oftentimes we call it they were indicted, but what they did is return a true bill on the indictment. Department 1 Superior Court judge issued warrants for the arrest of the defendants, and they were arrested last night at about 7 p.m. in Kern County. They are currently in the Kern County Jail waiting for an arraignment on the indictment, which will be tomorrow. There will be no preliminary hearing in this case because an indictment is a substitute for a preliminary hearing. In this case, we'll proceed directly to trial. The announcement of an indictment in this case probably raises a lot of questions about the facts of the case and what you and the public would like to know. I'm not permitted to go over the facts of the case in this case, but there is something that I'd like to discuss because the facts of the case are to be what we produce in the jury trial.
So to quickly put what she's saying in layman's terms was, they had a great, not a good, not a question, a great amount of evidence to bypass all the what we would know, like, oh, we have this, we have that, all the little steps. Hell no. Whatever they have, and they will not tell us, it is so good that they was able to get the true bill that pushes this case straight to trial. You do not stop you at jails, go, blah, 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 whatever that term is. They literally are taking this shit out. And the main thing, the reason why they need to be scared is one, because the way that they are moving, baby, we don't know. But there are no bodies. If y'all know anything about how hard it is to trial, now you are able to trial cases without bodies. But again, most of those, they really do need evidence. And I'm talking about evidence. The fact that they was able to get this true bill and bypass all the preliminary hearings and go straight to trial. They don't even care to hear what Jacqueline or Trezell has to say. They're going straight to fucking trial. And they have no bodies. What do y'all know? And then y'all dating this back to September. It only goes to show that Trezell and Jacqueline never looked or helped look for the boys, because there is a high chance, in my opinion, that those boys are nowhere near Cal City. They are back in Bakersfield or wherever they came from. They are nowhere near Cal City. It's crazy, y'all. They are not playing. Yes, the trial will be publicized, Chrissy. I just hope they don't push it back, but it will be publicized. But there is a gag order in place. They are not talking about anything until that trial starts. Yeah, Tangela, they did ask for a gag order, but the trial is still going to be publicized. Well, y'all know it depends on the judge. Let me not say that. I don't think they have appointed a judge yet. Y'all know it is based off of the judge if the judge allows it. So we will see. But I pray that it be publicized. But Tangela is right. There is a gag order that was just ruled today at their arraignment. They have no bond. Their asses are locked up. But let's finish this.
Because we want both the prosecution and the defense to have a fair trial in this case. However, one of the questions that I'm sure you would like to know is, have the bodies of Orrin and Orson been found? And the answer to that is no, they have not been found. However, I would like to emphasize that the fact that law enforcement have not found their bodies does not preclude a murder prosecution. As a matter of fact, there have been many hundreds of what we call no-body homicides prosecuted across the United States successfully, and even no-body homicides have resulted in murder convictions in Kern County. I'd like to introduce the people who are standing here with me today, who have been crucial in bringing this case forward. Eric Smith is the person to my right here. Eric Smith is the supervisor of the homicide unit at the DA's office. Next to him is Brian Estep, also a homicide prosecutor in the DA's office. And these two gentlemen are the people from my office who presented the evidence to the grand jury. And this grand jury hearing began 3 months ago in December of 2021. Mr. Smith, would you like to come say a few words?
If you'd changed, you wouldn't have come here.
Oh, if you'd changed, you wouldn't have let me.
On behalf of myself and, of course, Deputy District Attorney Brian Estep, I would like to thank the allied agencies who worked tirelessly throughout this investigation. That includes also the Kern Regional Crime Lab and also the DA investigators in this case. Kern County law enforcement worked together at first in an attempt to locate Orrin Orson West. And as that continued, it turned into the investigation into the disappearance and ultimately the homicide of the two boys. The lead investigative agencies, Bakersfield Police Department, California City Police Department, they worked tirelessly throughout the course of this over a year since this occurred to follow up on leads and complete the investigation that was continued even throughout the grand jury hearing. The indictment itself took approximately 3 months. Over 50 witnesses testified during the course of the indictment. Much of those witnesses' testimony was extremely emotional as it related to this case, but that's to be expected from a case that involves the murder of 2 innocent children. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
They worked on this indictment for 3 months, kept it under wraps, had over 50 witnesses, very emotional. And y'all know in these type of cases, if the witnesses would have tipped off or made any statements, they asses will be in jail too. So kudos to those witnesses that are really working hard to get justice for these boys. But it just shows you guys, like I keep saying throughout this whole video, the community rides for these kids, y'all. And it's really a pleasure to see. It's unfortunate why they have to ride for the kids, but it's still a pleasure to see these 50 witnesses. Because y'all probably don't, but a lot of witnesses slip up and run their goddamn mouths. But this preliminary went through 90 days. You cannot say anything, or not preliminary, this indictment went through, 90 days. You can't say anything. And these witnesses kept it under wrap. They can't say anything. They have to just say their part. But if they say anything, girl, they get arrested. So they came through.
To my right, to my left, are 2 chiefs of the lead agencies in this case that did most of the work: Bakersfield Police Chief Greg Terry and California City Police Chief John Walker. Chief Terry, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And this is not the outcome that we and so many had hoped and prayed for over the last year. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the families of Orrin and Orson, who, with this news today, their worst fears have been realized. I want to express my pride and appreciation to our homicide team, who invested so much personally and professionally to find the truth in this investigation. We now realize that the search for the boys began after the real tragedy had already occurred. But it is the work and diligence of the investigators, our partners, California City Police Department, the FBI, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and many, many other law enforcement agencies, community members, our own community members, and members of the public. That diligence, that refusal to give up is why we are here today. I also want to express my appreciation to our district attorney, Cindy Zimmer, for her leadership and for her commitment to the safety of our families here in Kern County, no matter how difficult the case. We also would not be here without the teamwork and support of the district attorney staff. They provided invaluable support to our investigators, a perspective and advice and counsel along the way. And again, we would not be here without that support as well. And the last thing I would say is this is not a resolution in this case. And there will not be a resolution completely in this case until these boys are brought home.
Thank you, Chief Terry. Chief Walker, would you like to address the audience?
Good morning. Thank you for being here. Let me emphasize, first and foremost, this is a tragedy, an absolute tragedy that was reported in my city, that 2 small boys could be killed by their parents. But I do have to say how proud I am of my department from the second we got the call until we brought in so many resources, and we're very grateful for that. But the second we got the call, we were on scene. We began to work it and look for these kids. And we had so many agencies involved, Kern County Sheriff's, the Search and Rescue, CHP came with their helicopter to help us. But the citizens of Cal City came out in numbers to look for these kids. And it began to grow to the outlying communities and eventually across the nation. We were getting people who were interested and they wanted to know where these kids were as well as us. And then eventually Chief Terry and the Bakersfield PD came in to help us out, and they've been instrumental to make this happen. So I want to thank all those people again for helping us to try to come to some kind of resolution with this. But again, the bottom line is we have 2 small boys that we believe are no longer here that are dead, and that's terrible. But again, I want to thank the district attorney, Cindy Zimmer, for being brave and diligent to push this forward and actually bring this case to the surface. So we will push forward. We haven't given up, and we'll continue to give them any kind of help that they would need in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Walker. While the defendants in this case, Trezell and Jacqueline West, are presumed innocent, The securing of a grand jury indictment is a major step in ensuring that there will be justice for Orrin and Orson. This case has tugged at the heartstrings of people in my office and in law enforcement and in this community. It is a horrific tragedy that these precious little boys had to lose their lives. But I want to thank everyone who was involved in this case, law enforcement officers. It must have been so difficult for them who searched for Orrin and Orson, the community members that came out and helped search, and then the community members that just continue to care about what happened to them.
I'm going to be. So that pretty much wraps it up for exactly what took place. There was another clip, but I'm tired of them ads, where she basically said how important it was to keep this case under wraps. And when she said that, I had chills listening to it yesterday. I was like, what? Like, what do you guys know? And then today they did have their arraignment where they were denied bail, and there is a gag order in place. So there's nothing that we would know that will hit the media past what we found out today, which is that they are being held without bail and that their case or their trial is to start May 23rd. There should be no more people speaking. I don't foresee anybody coming out on the internet saying anything, because right now what is going to take place is, now that the indictment has been made and that the arrests have been made, now they're going to start to circle back, because there was someone in this video that asked in the press conference, was other people aware? And she said no, like no one was aware. Why would we let anyone know besides those 50 witnesses? No one else was aware of what was going on. And I doubt that the witnesses even knew exactly what was going on, but they definitely were under oath and can't say anything. So now I foresee them going back and pulling that raggedy ass grandma, because she was the one that had the other 4 children. I don't see the other children getting on stand, but I do foresee some testimonies coming out from that. But I really want to know. Oh yeah, 50 witnesses and thousands of documents, because it's like every little piece, especially on like your phone and your computer, every little piece is like one piece of evidence. So you click the link, no, you searched on Google, then you click the link, then you scroll. That's 3 pieces of evidence. So it's a lot of evidence that they had, a lot of footage. But I, for one, really do, like I said, I don't believe that they ever were in Cal City. And that proves it, because September they were not living in Cal City. And for 2, I feel like they should have been charged for the man hours that put into a case for 14 months of looking for 2 children that were never going to be found in Cal City. They need to be charged for that. Like, it's too much. I agree, Heidi. I agree that the children are going to be the main ones that are going to be able to tell this story, but they don't really like to put children on stands and do that type of stuff. So I hope they televise this. If not, yeah, I know I'm going to get the transcripts. I hope they televise this so we can cover this day by day. And the only reason why I want to cover it is because I keep thinking of Cody Bigsby. I cannot stop thinking of him. And even when I first heard about him being missing, one of my subscribers, of course, told me his story. I was like, dang, that sounds so close to somebody else. But then I could not remember the boy's name. And then all over news, it's like breaking news, an indictment. I'm like, oh my God, that's the story I was remembering. So I really want to know what is going to take place, because I feel like this case is going to change the game. I know people say that all the time, but if you guys hear Current City, I really do applaud them for what they did. This DA did her damn thing, and I know that they're going to have a smoking gun. I nonetheless do pray that these kids are found so a proper burial could happen. Of course, the raggedy ass adopted parents did file not guilty, that's to be expected. They are in the process of seeking legal counsel, and that is why the date could be changed from May 23rd, just depending on how soon they can come up with a defense. I don't see them having any defense because there's footage of you barely looking for them kids. You guys never looked for them. Your stories never made sense. You have the realtor who already came out. You have the neighbors footage. You have everything. Oh, you have a good point. She said, Brina, I hope not. I think they told them they went away since they were adopted, but I bet the kids told cops they hadn't seen them since September. And you know what? You bring up a good point that I didn't think about, because I was trying to think of all the plausible things that the kids could say, or, the reason why they're not aware. First of all, y'all know I have covered other children cases before, and a lot of people be like, well, why didn't the other kids say anything? They are conditioned. It's called corporal punishment. They are conditioned to not speak up. First of all, they don't know. But you bring up a good point. Because the raggedy ass adoptive parents were foster parents, they are basically used to seeing kids come and go. So they easily could have said, oh, they're in a new home. They don't live here anymore. And no questions will be asked, because they don't understand the terms adoption. They don't understand any of that. You can easily just say they got to a new home. So that was a good point. I did drop the call-in lines just to see if anybody wanted to come in, call in and give their opinion about what is going on. How do you guys feel about this? My heart breaks for the people that really look tirelessly for those boys without realizing that they were never going to find these kids. Like, what a fucking sick ass group of people you have to be. You really have to be. But it was blatant. And that's why I feel like the community really did try to put their best foot forward, because they know that the adoptive parents wasn't shit. They never helped with any of the searches. They never felt that love, and they knew that these kids were already removed from another home. They really wanted those boys to come home. That's it. That's all. So they really put their all into this. The YouTuber AV, he put his all into this. Like, if y'all go to his channel, he really did cover this story in its entirety. He even went to court today, y'all, to look at the arraignment. So it just speaks volumes of the community and how much people really, really, really love the little children that they don't know. Now, Natasha, you said the neighbor's footage reminds me of the Chris Watts case. I am not familiar with that case, but I'm always into looking up new cases. I always say kid cases are the hardest for me to cover. Oh yeah, Chris Watts. Oh yeah, wasn't this the Netflix series? Oh my God, that one was horrible. Oh my God, what he did to his pregnant wife and his 2 little children. Yeah, that does. Now that you said that, now that I realize who Chris Watts is, that is so true, because that footage from the neighbor, they were able to prove that he was going in and out of his house in the middle of the morning. Yeah, girl. Yeah, he's the devil. Whew, yeah, that one wrenched at my heart, because I really, y'all know in that documentary when they said, like, the little girl was like, "Daddy, please no." Like, that shit broke me down. Like I keep saying, kid cases are the hardest to cover, like the hardest to cover. So shout out to the people who do it, because true crime is hard to cover in general, but them kids, it always breaks my heart as a mom. But these little boys, it really does break my heart, and you can't even be happy to say justice, because their bodies need to be found. Their mom deserves to bury her kids. And that brings me to the last piece of what I was going to talk about, and then I'm going to end it here. If you guys are a member to my channel, then you guys know that I share the mom's Facebook name with you guys. I did not share it per se, but I shared a status, and of course her name was in it. I didn't block it out. I don't think that you guys will go bother her, but she said this, and I wanted to read it for you guys. And I can't really post all the all the pictures of the kids, because y'all know YouTube turns off your comments because of or if kids are in the video. So I'm just scrolling past everything. 1 second. Okay. First of all, she said it's sincere and classic, not no damn Orrin Orson till the death of me. She really wants it to be known that, you know, Orrin and Orson is not their names, and their names and everything was just changed without her permission. I really want to deep dive into the mom, and maybe I would, just depending, just to see a little bit more about how this adoption took place, because it's really puzzling to me. But anyway, she writes, I'm sorry, yesterday, this is the time to come together. The devil has done enough. I've tripped out on good people, my family, my son's dad, family, for trying to help, but at some point in time I let the devil get a hold of me because he knew that this was coming. But I let the devil play with my head, thinking that they was against me, which everyone had their own feelings and emotions, which everyone has their own feelings and emotions. But at the time, the devil made me think that everybody was out to get me behind the situation with my boys, and it had me turn my back on some. My sister never gave up on me. She was behind the scenes giving me info also. And I will always cherish that. I'm sorry, her grammar is bad, y'all. She doesn't have not one period in this paragraph, so I'm sorry. I'm very hurt. My heart's hurt. My heart hurts. My head hurts. My mind and body, soul hurts. And I appreciate everyone who kept my boy's name alive. I'm thankful I have the proper closure. My mental state is through the roof right now, but I will carry their names for the rest of my life, even after when I'm 6 feet under. I thank everyone for the prayers and the concerns, and I'm not all right, but I am strong. Thank you for checking up on me. Just thank everyone who was involved with searching, prayer, candlelight vigils, my son's birthdays, awareness, anything having to do with them. I greatly appreciate it. I just need my baby's bodies so we can give them the proper burial. As for the bitch ass Trezell and bitch ass Jacqueline West, may your soul rot in hell for eternity. The feelings I have for you guys are so disgusting. You guys are disgusting. Your souls, your existence is disgusting. I hate y'all. I felt it when I asked. I knew y'all did it. I hope they kill y'all in jail, and that's on my life. You took my kings. I hope they take y'all life. And I read this because y'all know when I was covering Peter Spencer, I asked you guys how you guys felt about people who say that they forgive people who hurt someone that they love or hurt them. And when I was reading her post, she basically was saying how from the time that her kids was taken from her, she did a lot of self-sabotaging. She did a lot of things to sabotage herself when there were people out there that was trying to help her. So she did acknowledge that, but then she went on to say how, you know, she needed this closure. She needed to know that her kids are no longer here, but she cannot really do that until she gets their bodies. But at the end, she said, I hate y'all, to Trezell and Jacqueline. And I feel like that's the truth. And she is valid in her response of saying, I hate y'all bitch asses, all those things. So I'm not cheering her on per se, but I'm just showing you guys that there are real people that don't forgive and don't say the peachy cream responses with cherry on tops. And I want to normalize that more because we see all the time the whole, we forgive you, just no, I hate you. You hurt me. You took something that was mine, and I knew you guys were evil from the jump. She called it from the jump and said that you guys hurt the kids. And remember in the interview I showed you guys, those bitch ass motherfuckers was like, yeah, we can understand that. But really, no. Y'all did something in September, and y'all on the screen December 23rd playing like everything is cool. Y'all had no pictures of these kids. Y'all had nothing. So it was, you know, I wanted to read that for you guys because it was raw and real. It was true. Yes, Natasha, she found out that they were missing from the TV because she was initially allegedly trying to give them not only Christmas presents, but birthday presents and everything. She was still trying to be in her kid's life. And according to the father, he was the main one advocating for the kids to live with kin, live with someone of their bloodline. But again, I'm going to dig deeper into that aspect because I don't know what went left. But according to them, the kids was never supposed to be with these West people. Yeah, her feelings are very valid. I agree, Brina. Like it was, you know, yeah, so that is it for the video, you guys. I wanted to break it down to you guys just so y'all can have a little bit more details of what happened with these boys. We are going to be following up, you know, once the trial starts, because like I said, there is a gag order, so we ain't going to be knowing nothing else. And I'm not excited per se, but I really want to know what the hell the DA has, because whatever it is serious and they don't want it out, which I respect. So without further ado, you guys, I appreciate you guys for rocking with me over almost 2 hours. Do not forget to subscribe and like the video on your way out. I will catch y'all in another one.
And thank you. Oh yeah, thank you, Ms. Marcel. Yo, all props to you. And just you doing what you doing. And you got a voice. Keep doing